On a quiet morning under the golden sunlight, 3 newborn goats take in their surroundings. It's a peaceful, idyllic scene on a small farm. The 40-year-old farm owner rushes over, lifting each kid to inspect them. To him, the math is simple. He sees 3 strong, healthy assets. This birth is a successful agricultural yield, a guaranteed return on investment for his family's livelihood. But the newborns are experiencing something different. They look up at the smiling faces of the farmer, his wife, and his young children. When the humans reach down to pet them, the goats interpret this physical touch through their biological need for attachment. They feel warmth, safety, and the absolute certainty that they belong to a protective herd. This diagram illustrates the cognitive divide. It routes a single action, like feeding or shelter, into 2 completely separate realities. On the left side, the human ledger tallies asset growth. On the right, the animal's brain maps familial trust. The farm's operational success depends on this initial bond. By establishing a sense of safety during the first hours of life, the system transforms the animal's biological instinct to seek a protector into a long-term mechanism for compliance. There is one animal on the farm who understands this dynamic. The mother goat has lived here long enough to see what happens when the human smiles fade. She knows exactly where the missing members of their herd have gone. Every day she faces an impossible conflict. She must mask her dread and pretend this enclosed space is safe. Her children's temporary happiness is the only thing she has left to protect. Agricultural systems are efficient because they deliberately mimic the structure of a protective herd. By providing food, shelter, and boundaries, the environment pacifies the offspring, blinding them to the actual dangers closing in around them. The mother plays along with the routine. Her forced compliance ensures her children grow up without the stress of being property, allowing them to focus entirely on their own growth. One afternoon, a 50-year-old stranger arrives at the gate. The nurturing atmosphere of the farm vanishes, replaced immediately by the cold mechanics of commerce. The farmer and the stranger negotiate. The mother goat has reached peak market value, meaning keeping her any longer would yield diminishing returns. Selling her today is simply good business. They watch their mother walk away quietly. Because she intentionally hides her distress to avoid triggering a stampede, the kids perceive her departure as a routine absence. In their world, she is merely stepping away for a time, not being sold. This forced separation is a built-in feature of the livestock industry. Humans frame it as routine logistics. For the animals left behind, it creates a permanent psychological wound that they have no context to resolve. A year passes. The 3 young goats, 2 males and 1 female, grow into strong, healthy adults. Their physical maturation aligns perfectly with the farm's economic timeline. The dual realities reach their absolute peak. The humans look at the pen and see perfected livestock, ready for use. The goats look at the humans and feel the satisfaction of pleasing their family. It is a brutal chronological irony. The precise moment the animal's emotional bond with their captors reaches its deepest point, their economic expiration date arrives. The farmer's son turns 8. The house buzzes with festive energy. Relatives arrive, decorations go up, and the humans prepare for a massive celebration. Feeling the energy in the air, the goats mirror the excitement. They interpret the laughter and activity as an inclusive event. They assume they are about to participate in their brother's milestone. The father and son approach the pen and select one of the young males. Eager to join the festivities, the goat willingly follows them to the back of the property, assuming it is a game. A rope is brought out. The boy holds one end, the father pulls. In a fraction of a second, the goat's psychological reality pivots violently from joyful anticipation to fatal understanding. The goat connects the tightening rope to his mother's sudden disappearance. He realizes his entire lifetime of love and care was an elaborate trap. For the animal, the physical pain of the execution is entirely eclipsed by the psychological devastation. He is dying by the hands of the very people he trusted most in the world. Inside the farmhouse, the family shares the meal with laughter and celebration. In the pasture, the surviving goats have fallen silent. They no longer engage in playful headbutting or social grooming, standing instead in a state of sudden, watchful isolation. We can map out this massively unequal weighting of experience with a chart displaying relational asymmetry. Notice the disparity. The massive circle represents the animal's entire world. The tiny dot inside it represents a fraction of the human's livestock portfolio. Look at how the human's reality expands. That tiny dot connects to dozens of other aspects of a human life: work, hobbies, genuine human family. Because humans can compartmentalize a business asset, they can project affection without ever taking on the ethical burden of a true relationship. Domestication creates a one-sided emotional contract. The animals lack the cognitive tools to identify the hidden costs until the moment of harvest. Step away from the specific dirt of this one village farm. This dynamic applies to the broader ethical implications of taking custody over any animal's life. When humans project care purely for utility, they strip away honesty. At that point, kindness ceases to be a virtue and becomes a tool of management. If humanity chooses to act as the architect of an animal's world, we have to recognize the immense weight of the trust they place in us, because love that ends in betrayal is the deepest pain.